When an artist is commissioned to make a public artwork, many are already comfortable with the idea that it might cause some ripples. Some see this as part of their role, to create something new, something challenging. To create an artwork that grows its own life and meanings and provokes a range of responses, tied to a place and its people, but also to the big ideas of 20th century art.
Bottle of Notes did just that. Unveiled in 1993, it's a sculpture created by two internationally renowned artists, Claes Oldenburg and Coosje van Bruggen. Having met earlier in the 1970s, Claes Oldenburg and Coosje van Bruggen married in 1977, and from then on they worked collaboratively for 30 years. Developing over 40 public pieces, which they called large-scale projects. Together, they created iconic works of public art in locations across the world.
Middlesbrough's Bottle of Notes remains the only public artwork by them in the UK. Situated in the heart of the town, it signalled a new approach to public art commissioning and regeneration on Teesside.
The plan was to produce the piece in the area, building on Teesside's legacy of steel production. But although the initial model was developed in Middlesbrough, Teesside steel wasn't suitable for this highly complex form. The final piece was made in South Tyneside and was fabricated by former shipbuilders. The sculpture was then transported by lorry into the centre of Middlesbrough.
When we stand under this sculpture today, we get a real sense of its industrial scale and its material connection to place in an area that was once the world's largest manufacturer of steel. We can see how the steel has been shaped into the familiar form of a bottle and tilted towards us, as though washed up on a shore.
But what does this reference mean? Like all of Oldenburg and Van Bruggen's pieces, this familiar object is connected to the social history of its site. Captain James Cook, the 18th century explorer and naval officer, was born in the area in 1728. He is also known for the violent encounters that he and his crew had with indigenous peoples in these lands. Observing a rare planetary event, the transit of Venus, from Tahiti in 1769, Cook wrote in his diaries, "We had every advantage we could desire in observing the whole of the passage of the planet Venus over the sun's disk." Van Bruggen turned this observation into a curving script to form the outside layer of the sculpture.
The blue script wrapped inside the bottle, however, is much more personal. Like a secret message, it comes from a poem by Van Bruggen called Recalling Amsterdam. It reads, "I like to remember seagulls in full flight, gliding over the ring of canals."
Commissioned by Middlesbrough Council and Northern Arts, this work marks a key moment in public art commissioning across the north and is now part of a much wider landscape of art and culture.
Since the sculpture was commissioned, it's been adopted by the people of Middlesbrough and the Tees Valley as an icon of place, a signature part of the town. Most importantly, this artwork raises interesting questions about the production of imagination of place, both through internal and external perceptions.